Hi everyone, this is Kruti Jai Pancholi, Assistant Professor in LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in Department of Electronics and Communication. This video is about subject Microwave Engineering. From this video, you will learn about stub matching. Impedance matching is one of the important aspects of high frequency circuit analysis to avoid the reflections and for maximum power transfer from the source to load. Transmission line sections that can be used for the purpose of impedance matching. There are various methods for matching the impedance. One of them is to use of quarter wavelength transformer. Here you can see in the diagram, this is the quarter wavelength transformer which is used for matching the resistive load to a transmission line. It is the transmission line having the input impedance from the point A is Z0. This transmission line which is terminated at the resistive load having the impedance that is the R. So quarter wavelength transformer that can be used for matching the resistive load to the transmission line. Here in this diagram, there are the two resistive load. So whenever for matching the two resistive load, the quarter wavelength transformer that can be also used. This is the another category. Quarter wavelength transformer that can be used for matching the two transmission line having the unequal characteristics impedance. From this point we can see that the characteristics impedance is Z01. Here it is Z02. To match the impedance between the two transmission line, the quarter wavelength transformer that can be used. By matching the impedance, there is no standing wave we will get, there is no reflection we will get at the source end. And if the mismatch would occur, then due to that the various losses would be arrived in the transmission line that we have seen in the last video. So to avoid the losses due to the mismatch in the impedance, we can avoid using the impedance matching technique. The technique which is used for the impedance matching, it is referred to as a stub matching. What is a stub? A stub is a short-circuited section of a transmission line which is connected in parallel to the main transmission line. Here we can see this is the transmission line. Here it is terminated with the load impedance ZL. So to match the impedance, the stub is required. Here in the diagram we can see that the stub means the parallel short-circuited wire which is connected. Now it is connected from the load end to the point which we are referring, that is as the L, and the length of the stub, that is the L dash. So now we want to find out the impedance matching using the single stub. So here we can say that the ZL is not equal to Z0. So impedance matching that is required. For any short circuit circuit, the input impedance of the device, that is Zin is equal to Z0 in bracket Z0 plus ZL tan hyperbolic gamma L upon ZL plus Z0 tan hyperbolic gamma L. Now converting them into the admittance, we will get Yin is equal to Y0, as we know that the Y is equal to 1 upon Z. Using that thing, Yin is equal to Y0 in bracket YL plus Y0 tan hyperbolic gamma L upon Y0 plus YL tan hyperbolic gamma L. Now we are talking about the high frequency. Now the propagation that is done, and over here this gamma that represents the propagation constant. Propagation constant, that gamma is equal to alpha plus j beta, where alpha is the attenuation constant and beta is the phase constant. Now at the high frequency line, alpha is equal to 0 and we are putting that alpha value over here equal to 0. So gamma is equal to j beta. So now we are putting that value over here. So now we are changing the admittance to the normalized admittance. Now by converting the normalized value, as we have seen in the Smith chart, dividing by the characteristics impedance. So Yin upon Y0 is equal to YL upon Y0 plus J tan beta L upon 1 plus J YL upon Y0 tan beta L. Now we know that the Yin is equal to Yin upon Y0. It's a normalized value. And YL is equal to again YL upon Y0. So by putting that value in the equation and translating them into the real and imaginary part. So we have the equation Yin is equal to YL plus J tan beta L upon 1 plus J YL tan beta L. Now multiplying and dividing by this value, that is 1 YL plus J tan beta L upon 1 plus J YL tan beta L, multiply by 1 minus J YL tan beta L upon 1 minus YL tan beta L. So now multiplying the numerator and denominator, it is 1 minus a square minus b square that we are doing over here. So it is the 1 plus YL square tan square beta L in the denominator. Now I want to separate out the real and imaginary. So this is a YL. So we are writing the YL over here. Okay. Then after I want the real part. So this J tan beta L, J YL tan beta L. J square is minus 1. But over the minus sign is there. Minus minus plus. So it is YL tan beta L, tan beta L, tan square beta L plus J tan beta L minus YL square tan beta L upon 1 plus YL square tan beta L. So now we are separating the real and imaginary. So for the impedance matching, normalized admittance of the real part should be 1. So YL plus YL tan square beta L upon 1 plus YL square tan square beta L is equal to 1. Now we'll take this 1 plus YL square on this side. Okay. So YL plus YL tan square beta L is equal to 1 plus YL square tan square beta L. So it is YL minus 1 equal to YL square minus YL into tan square beta L. So it is YL minus 1 is equal to YL minus 1 tan square beta L. So it is 1 upon YL is equal to tan square beta L. Therefore the tan square beta L is equal to Y0 upon YL. Therefore tan beta L is equal to square root of Y0 by YL. Therefore tan beta L in terms of the impedance, it is square root of ZL upon Z0. But the beta is equal to 2 pi upon lambda. So beta L is equal to tan inverse square root of ZL upon Z0. So what is the beta? It is 2 pi upon lambda into L equal to tan inverse square root of ZL upon Z0. Therefore ZL is equal to lambda upon 2 pi tan inverse square root of ZL by Z0. What is this L? That L shows the position of the stub. So now where do we have to put the stub? So by putting the value inside this equation, we can have the idea about the position of the stub from the load. Now we want to calculate the length of the stub. So now we have compared the real part. Now we are comparing the imaginary part with the susceptance. So now this B is equal to tan beta L. It is my imaginary part. 1 minus YL square upon 1 plus YL square tan square beta L. But we know that tan beta L is equal to square root of Y0 upon YL. So now putting the value of tan beta L in the above equation, we will get tan beta L is equal to, now in Y0, for getting the normalized value, I am putting the Y0 is equal to 1. Or in later we will put the, instead of the 1, Y0. For the normalized value, every time the 1 that can be considered as the Y0. So tan beta L is equal to 1 upon square root of YL. So B is equal to 1 upon square root of YL, 1 minus YL square upon 1 plus YL square into 1 upon YL. So it is 1 upon square root of YL, 1 minus YL square upon 1 plus YL. 1 minus YL square, S square minus B square. It is 1 minus B, 1 minus A, 1 minus B. 1 minus YL, 1 plus YL. 1 plus YL, 1 plus YL is cancelled from both the sides. And here we are getting, it is equal to 1 upon square root of YL, 1 minus YL. Therefore, the actual value is equal to, instead of 1 I am putting Y0. So Y0 minus YL, here also we can consider it is 1 multiplied by YL. So instead of 1 I am putting the Y0. So it is a square root of Y0 into YL. Now as we know that from the experiment, it has been proved that the susceptance, that is the B, is equal to cot BL dash. So my B value is Y0 minus Y1 upon square root of Y0 YL. What is the cot? It is the 1 upon 10. So tan beta L dash, it is equal to square root of Y0 YL upon Y0 minus YL. Therefore, L dash is equal to 1 upon beta tan inverse square root of Y0 YL upon Y0 minus YL. But we know that what is the beta? Beta is equal to 2 pi upon lambda. So we are putting that beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda in this equation. We can have the answer L dash is equal to lambda upon 2 pi tan inverse square root of Y0 YL upon Y0 minus YL. So this gives us the position of the stub. So whenever the impedance matching that is required in the high frequency, then we need to find out what is the position of the stub and what is the length of the stub, and from that we can design the transmission line and we can avoid the mismatch in the impedance, and we can also avoid the losses which can be there due to the mismatch of the impedance. So thank you very much everyone. It is again very important for the GTU exams. So you have to do the practice by writing, and you have to solve the equations based on this, and you can also solve the example based on this. Again, we have learned about the Smith chart in the last video. So the Smith chart, use of the quarter wavelength transformer, then this stub matching, in that we learn about the single stub matching. Similarly, the double stub matching will be also there for matching the impedance of the transmission line. So it is required in the transmission line concepts. So keep in mind everything. So thank you very much everyone.